Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to SaGa Frontier 2. Today we're going to continue on with Gustav's story. We've got quite a bit of action to get through starring him today, and I'm excited. So let's just jump straight in with Mother's sickbed. This is, of course, this particular scenario is mostly story-driven, but there is a little bit of combat in it. I mean, not much. You don't get to fight any particularly strong monsters or any monsters that are particularly good at sparking anything. But if you really want, you can do a little grinding here. I don't recommend it. But this is actually one of the few scenarios where Kelvin is playable. Kelvin is actually only playable in 3 scenarios in the entire game, and this is the second one. To find that fool, because he's a fool. Now, with Kelvin running off to find Gustav, we switch to Sir Gus, and let's see. Let's see what I have here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put cross break on. Alright, I'm also going to... No, I'm going to leave the wood shoes on, but I'm going to throw on this steel amulet. And that should do it. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you can win the... there was a special item you could win the first time you come here from the mushrooms. It was some kind of... I mentioned it briefly when we were in Infiltrate Alexi Gang, because you could trade it for an item there. And like I said, I'm not sure if you can win it here. I think you can, but don't quote me on that. There's a lot I do not know about this game. Now, this is actually something I can really sympathize with Gus, because he has spent his entire life raised by his mother. He feels that, you know, she did it by herself, but he feels like he's been a burden on her his entire life. And now she's dying. You know, what do you say? You know, how do you face someone that has been pretty much your only supporter in your entire life, the only person that has continuously come up and said, no, you are worth something? How do you face that person dying? And that's basically what Gustav is having to deal with here. And of course, I also like Kelvin's advice, you know, just go see her. If you feel like crying, then cry. Be there. Which, that's one of the great things I like about this game. The characters have so much emotion in them, even though this game isn't as in depth as, say, a Final Fantasy game. But the characters have more emotion and more personality in them. But anyway, we have Kelvin in our party. I do want to put needle shot on him. Make sure he can. Okay. Really don't need to fight anything. All the monsters here are pretty much the same as they were before. But this is the only fight that's required. I would like to point out that Gustav's battle music is awesome. I think it's neat how they, like, every time your main character changes, they pretty much remix. Anyway, I want to do... That's how we're going to do this. This guy's not very powerful, although he's got a little bit of HP. Pretty much for Kelvin, Needle Shot is probably the way to go for the skills I have. Because I really don't know that many attack spells. Which is sad because there's a couple of like fire elemental spells that you can learn that I haven't learned. And I wish I did learn because they're pretty much the most powerful attack spells in the game. I honestly don't have a whole lot to say about this scene because, you know, it makes me sad because I think about, you know, what if that was my mother? There's, of course, I wonder if Flynn couldn't see that flash. I mean, it would make sense since he doesn't have anima. Maybe that, you know, people like Gustav and Flynn can't see the flash when someone dies. Remember that for later. Sir Gus. Quite honestly, Gustav's father is a bit of a jerk. One of the things about Philippe is that they say in like the supplementary materials, things like that, but you never get to see it yourself. Apparently Philippe is an amazingly talented spellcaster. To, you know, kind of contrast him from Gus, who has got the spellcasting capability of a brick made of steel. Very sharp brick. And there is, of course, Marie, Gustav's little sister. Our mother has passed away. Seems like he holds some resentment to Gus, huh? Just a little teeny tiny bit of resentment. So we're not going to save now.